Hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin. Yeah, it's been a bit of a slow day so far after actually quite a volatile week. But overall, unfortunately, and that is really what is annoying sometimes, is the chart hasn't really made any progress over the week. Yes, it has been volatile, especially here the move up that occurred since Monday and then the sell-off and then another, everything was bought up again. Even though there was some volatility, it didn't really lead to a progress in the chart. Yeah, we didn't really complete scenarios. We didn't really create a new impulse or anything. It was just sort of corrective price action down, corrective price action up. I've been leaning a bit more, and I still am a little bit, towards another high in the B wave. Now that we get this higher B wave there, which would then result in a sell-off in C. So again, I did explain all of that in the previous video. A, B, C. Still sort of the preferred option with a high B wave. If it's going to be an overshooting B wave or not, we will see, but at least one more high would be preferred. Ideally into the region between 30,170 and 32,570. At least this is resistance. Again, we need to see, we need to be a bit patient about that. The thing is, it was really looking good yesterday that we could get that higher B wave. Today we see a little bit of weakness, yeah. Nothing too strong and nothing that would really reduce the likelihood of another higher B wave. But it's like, the problem that we have is if we head into the weekend, we're not doing it before the weekend. In my opinion, likelihood will reduce because on the weekend we typically see slow sideways action. So not really impulsive price action. So I prepare for a boring weekend at the moment. And yeah, if this gets stretched out a lot, then I think likelihood for another higher wave in B reduces a bit. Either way, it all depends on the price levels, yeah. So the high B wave is still on the radar. What you need to know, if we get a high B wave, so that's something for the future. If we get that high B wave, the C wave can be a higher C wave, yeah. So that means A wave, A wave, in the case of a high B wave, the C wave doesn't need to, but can end higher, a so-called running flat pattern. Yes, these are not so common, but they are still reasonably common in crypto, especially on a time frame like that, and then we could rally from there. It's impossible at this stage to highlight if this is going to be a high B wave, a high C wave. Impossible, yeah. First of all, we need to see, do we get a high B wave? And if we do, then we can either get a high C wave, which would be a running flat pattern, or a lower C wave, which would be a so-called expanded flat pattern. So either A, overshooting B wave or high B wave, and high C wave or low C wave, and then move up in the third wave. Both of this is part of a scenario within a wave 2. So the scenario doesn't really change. It's just a question, how do we get there and how do we get deeper into support? Okay, so that should be clear. Another possibility is that this B wave that I highlighted here in orange is indeed unfolding as a triangle. Current price action indeed makes a triangle option more and more likely. Yeah, a B wave can be a triangle, and this is certainly getting more and more likely. Again, to call out a triangle too early is also something that I don't like to do. Just note that a B wave can be a triangle, and yeah, it fits basically the idea of weekend is coming. So it could be a long and boring sideways weekend with a B wave that unfolds as a triangle. If we see that triangle action come, which would mean if we see a little bit more corrective price action down, corrective price action up, making higher highs but lower highs and higher lows, it would indicate, okay, it's probably triangle. And then also here, the idea would be to break eventually to the downside. Basically to complete the triangle, not go into the resistance area up here and do this, yeah, possible. Or a more imminent sell-off is possible as well. For example, it could be that this B wave already finished here. Not my preferred option, but absolutely possible and also likely. It would be a shallow B wave, but it's still within what a B wave would normally do, to be honest. So it could be an A, B, and now we are selling off in the C wave. And the sell-off scenario could look like that: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in wave C. Okay, but we should know that fairly quickly. If a break occurs below the Wednesday low, that was, yeah, below 27,260, that would be confirmation we're already in the C wave. So I think for me, it's either one more high and then sell off, or triangle and then sell off, or direct sell off. So at the moment, in all likely scenarios that are currently observed here, but they're all part of one actually, I would see a lower C wave. Just be aware that there could be a lower C wave in wave 2. Yeah, but before we do that, it could make one more high and then come down. It's really only that if we break above 32,570, we would be looking at a direct breakout to the upside. Okay, I don't see that at the moment, but it's of course possible. Overall, this will all be still part of the larger uptrend, right? But it would then be, if that happens, it would mean that the wave 2 was already in. Okay. But it would be a very shallow wave 2 then. It would be a very, very shallow wave 2. What else is there to mention? Not too much more, I think. Not too much more. I mean, there are a few other counts. I mean, I'm looking at this currently as a wave 1, 2, another 1, 2 setup, and then a possible rally. Another possible bullish setup is, of course, to see this as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That the wave 1 actually finished here, and we now see a bit of deeper sell-off in an ABC. But then these are the two bullish scenarios. So I don't, it's basically a level by level game. As long as we're holding 22K, I go with the current wave count. And only really if we go below 22K, I have to unpack the alternative bullish count. And if that is taken out, we have to focus on the bearish count. Very, very simple. It's a bit of a level by level game at the moment. We still can, in this particular count, go all the way down to 22K. So it's pretty much of a distance that we can still come down here in the next few weeks. Bear in mind that sort of May, June typically are weak months in crypto. But yeah, first of all, we need to really get out of this messy price action here, which is at the moment not impulsive. It's very choppy, very sloppy, very difficult price action at the moment. And yeah, it might carry on like that over the weekend. That would be quite a boring weekend. Okay, and that's my update about Bitcoin. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.